Hi everyone, welcome to Lilybug's Library, or welcome back. And today we're going to do my Friday reads. It's Saturday, you're saying? Friday was a holiday, so it doesn't count. So yeah, we're doing Saturday reads. All right, so I'm going to bring up some notes here. Just give me 1 second. All right, so one of the ones I read was called Treasured Grace, and it's the first in the Heart of the Frontier series. And this one was really good. It was a historical Christian fiction, and it was about Grace Martindale, and she was trying to get to Oregon country, and she was married to a man who ended up dying on the trip, and he wasn't a man that she particularly loved. He was someone that, it was she couldn't go alone on this trip, or they wouldn't take her alone. So she ended up marrying this. I think he was a minister, maybe. She ended up marrying him, basically, so that they could make this trip together. And then he ended up dying. And so she is also a midwife. So she was helping other settlers, and she was, she has a lot of knowledge about medical things. And so when she gets there to Oregon, she meets this fur trapper named Alex. And there's a lot of tension between him, or not him, but between the people who arrive there and the Native Americans that already live there. And so it's basically a story about her trying to navigate all that, and her coming to find out that the native peoples are not the savages that they were made out to be, and and then her relationship with Alex. So it's I thought it was really well done, very interesting, and you get a lot of that frontier kind of atmosphere from it. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. So I'd probably give that one probably a 4 out of 5. So the next one that I read was Cozy Mystery by Alex Erickson, and it was called A Pose Before Dying. And it's the first of the cat yoga mysteries. I swear there's yoga for everything, right? There's goat yoga and cat yoga. I don't think I've seen puppy yoga yet. That would be interesting. So anyway, this one is cat yoga. So I thought this was quite good too. It was Ashley Branson, and she has opened up a new cat yoga studio called A Perfect Pose. And she's her family doesn't want her to open it. They're most of her family's kind of snooty, and they have like their own family business, so they really want her helping them with their business. And so they're a lot of them are kind of hoping she'll fail. And it starts to look like she's going to when it's discovered that someone is dead in her studio, locked in child's pose. So she is um, not really a suspect, I mean, that's pretty much taken care of right away, but they need to find out who did do this. And the police, of course, don't want her in the studio until they find that out. So that one was good as well. And yeah, I'd probably give that one 4 out of 5 as well. Maybe I'm just an easy marker today. I don't know. It's just a good day. So the next one easily was 4 stars because it is the fourth in the Magical Cat series, which I absolutely adore, by Sophie Kelly. And so this one, again, it's about Kathleen Paulson. She's a small town librarian, and she has two magical cats, Owen and Hercules. And I think they are some of the best cats in Cozy Mysteries. I just think they're adorable. So she ends up finding, let's see, who was it? There is someone. Oh, he ran a tour company. That's what he did. And he ends up being found dead. And so it's up to Kathleen to discover who killed him. His body was actually found on the boardwalk. So she's, really trying to find out what happened and why it happens in her town all the time. And the detective, Marcus Gordon, is, her boyfriend, but he still would rather that she really didn't get involved in these things, of course. So that one I really enjoyed, and actually that one I would give 5 stars. So let's see. The next one I read Um, Still working on a few of them. I hate the way Goodreads lays them out. Sometimes it's very hard to find what you just read and what you read ages ago. I don't know why they do it that way, but drives me crazy. So the next one I actually listened to, and this one was called In This Altered Body. And it's a survivor's story of resilience and love. And boy, this woman went through it. She was in a plane crash with her fiance, and uh, it was like a small private flight going to the Bahamas. And so when she wakes up, she's basically in a fiery inferno. They get her out of there, and 64% of her body has been burned, and her fiance has died. So initially, the only thing she remembers is a lot of like really bizarre, weird dreams. And turns out that's from the morphine that they're giving her to try to basically, they induced a coma and they're trying to keep her calm while she starts to heal because at this point, the pain would be so bad, she just wouldn't be able to stand it. So eventually, they do start to wake her up, start to try and wean her off the morphine. And at first, she's still very confused because, she'll see someone like a doctor, but she remembers him as being some alien in her dreams. So she's trying to put fact and fiction together to see what on earth happens. And at first, she is in such pain and uh, so confused and just so much not herself. She doesn't even ask about her fiance. She just assumes that he's in another hospital room. And then as time goes on, she becomes aware that he didn't make it. And so this is all about her story of how she gets through all of this because it's life changing. By the time it's probably about 4 months in before she looks in the mirror and realizes just how disfigured she is. And then eventually, when she's out of the hospital, it's she's out in public where people are staring at her and she doesn't really know how to react to all of that. So the whole thing, through it all, she doesn't do a lot of wallowing. She really is trying to get her life back. I mean, she thinks about how hard some of the things are and all of that, but she's a strong woman. So that one I thought was amazing, and I would definitely give that one 5 out of 5. So the next one I read, it was nonfiction. Well, that was nonfiction too, I guess. But I find with the spiritual ones, sometimes it's a little harder to know how to rate them. But this one was called Finding Yourself in the New Testament, and it was by Al Caraway. And I don't know. Um, I don't. Yeah, it says it was read by Al Caraway too. So I guess Al must stand for maybe Allison, because it was a woman reading it and or telling the story. So it was all about different parts of the New Testament and how it relates to your own relationship with God. And so I thought it was very good too. Excuse me. I didn't realize probably until 3/4 of the way through it that we actually do not share the same. Uh, I was going to say the same religion, and I guess that would be true. Yeah, at first I thought the same denomination, but that's not quite right. Anyway, basically, from what I gathered in the book, I believe that the person that wrote it was Mormon, but couldn't swear to that. But I'm pretty sure. So anyway, that doesn't take away from the fact that it was a good book. There were a lot of parts that I identified with, and one part that and with it being Easter, I guess, maybe it makes you think even more about it. But one part that I never really thought about until she brought it up in the book, and it was like, oh, deep, is the fact that even though Jesus knew at the Last Supper who was going to betray him, he still washed everyone's feet. He didn't exclude Judas from that, which I thought was interesting. And it's like, in the same way that even when we were still sinners, he, took care of us. So anyway, that was, I thought it was very good, very well done. So I would probably give that one 3.5, rounded up to 4. And then the last one that I read was quite interesting. It was kind of along the lines of Eleanor Oliphant, that sort of book, I guess. But this one was called Miss Benson's Beetle, and it was written by Rachel Joyce, and I thought it was quite sweet. I guess initially when I got it, I kind of was thinking like a Volkswagen Beetle, but that's not what it was. It was an actual beetle. And so it starts out, it's like 1950s, roughly. I think she was maybe born in the 40s. And anyway, when she was a little girl, her brothers went off to war, and I'm not sure where her mother was. Her mother may have already been passed. And she was hanging out with her father, and her father was showing her this book that had all these different bugs and animals and things in it. And he was telling her about this golden beetle. And she was fascinated with it because the pictures were so amazing. And he was saying, like, no one had ever actually found one. And they didn't know if it was fictitious, that sort of thing. And unfortunately, at that same time, he found out that her brothers had died in the war. And everything kind of changed from that moment. And so I won't say anything more about that, just that it goes ahead to when she is an adult and she decides to go off and find this beetle. And she ends up looking for someone to help her and be her assistant. And so that the person that she finds, they take off on this adventure and end up, having a friendship that really spans through all kinds of difficulties. And it's a really sweet story about female friendship and adventures, and I really liked it. And there's probably more. I don't know, like not with her, but maybe with other characters similar. So I'll probably will go looking for some more because I really it was one of those books that you read and it you really feel better after having read it. So anyway, that was that one, and I would give that one 5 out of 5. So that's what I've been reading, and really been, enjoying, the things that I've read and listened to. Trying really hard to get through an arc that I'm reading. Not that it's bad; it's amazing. But the problem is, I just don't have the time, and I still have my book club read, which I need to get busy on too because I've only got a couple of weeks before book club. So I'm going to take some time during this long weekend to see how much I can finish on those. So that is what's going on here. As you may have noticed, I got a new ladybug shirt, so I'm pleased with that. And I've got my ladybug. Oh no, wrong side. Uh, got my ladybug hair clip in, so I'm rocking the ladybug today. And my daughter and grandchildren and her boyfriend, they got me this lovely mug during my birthday that says Grammy. So I've been drinking my coffee out of that this morning. So yeah, it's been a good morning so far, and I have been reading for probably an hour and a half. So I am getting there on the arc. It's just, like I said, it takes a little bit of time. So going to be a great day today. We're going out to play some games with friends and then out to supper. And I hope whatever you're doing today, I hope you have a great day and a lovely Easter weekend. And I will talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.